Yay! Look at the bananas. Oh.
So very excited about that. I didn't want to do this. Hey y'all, and welcome to my first ever summer recap. My engagement has always been down in the summertime, which was perfectly fine. I've always still put out summer stuff, but as y'all know from the beginning of the year, my content has slowed down tremendously for numerous reasons, which I won't completely go into. I've talked about it probably on my last video, maybe the last few videos, but life is busy. I am a mom of two very busy-bodied kids, which you're going to see here shortly, and I figured I got this idea the other night when I was outside. I always do an evening walkthrough outside once the kids are asleep, because it's so hot during the day. We don't get to go out much during the day. Of course, I've took pictures and little video clips over, you know, the span of time that I've been gone. I figured why not do a summer recap of what you've missed since I haven't been vlogging. So before we get into that and me sitting here, how did I get here? Tonight, I did actually pick up the camera a little bit and vlogged this evening. Cody did have to go into work, so I was single parenting it or solo parenting it. Whatever doesn't offend y'all, just go with that. That's what I was doing. And I did, like I said, film a little bit. So let's jump into that little bit of footage that I got, and then we'll go into, by the way, Mila's not asleep. She's in there just flipping and flopping. Then we'll go into where we've been.
Shooting me with words, but I won't let them bruise. Even though it hurts, I won't show it to you. 'Cause it will ricochet, I won't let it bite. I will look at you and tell you that I'm alright. Like a ricochet, it will come back to you. 'Cause I don't care about you anymore. So you can't hurt me like you did before. Let me tell you, not because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. And even if you're trying to hurt me, my skin's getting thicker each day. I don't know how you fall asleep at night, knowing that your words are hurtful, it's just not right. Not because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. Like a ricochet, like a ricochet, like a ricochet, like a ricochet. I used to let it in, all the things you said. You try to turn me into somebody else, but it will ricochet. I won't let it bite. I will look at you and tell you that I'm alright. Like a ricochet, it will come back to you. 'Cause I don't care about you anymore. So you can't hurt me like you did before. Let me tell you, not because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. And even if you're trying to hurt me, my skin's getting thicker each day. Don't know how you fall asleep at night, knowing that your words are hurtful, it's just not right. No, because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away.
down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take.
Amen.
Alright, say night night, Papa. Good job, Cece. Can I have a hug? Love you. Oh. Say, take my love, brother. Take my love. Oh. Are you wiping it off, Papa? So while I get the kids down for bed, like you just seen, I put the kids down for bed. The dogs are normally outside because of the big change that we did outside, which is the fence. So they're able to be out and free, especially in the evening when it's so much cooler. And they're able to just have some freedom. I mean, they do get out during the day, but it's just so hot. Of course, we're not leaving them out there. It's just too hot for them to really be able to enjoy the new fenced in yard. So in the evenings, they get to sit there for like 45 minutes and they freaking love it. Rosie runs around like a crazy person, which I'm going to show you now. Welcome to the almost complete backyard where Rosie's losing her mind. I do plan on doing like a full, maybe like a fall outdoor video or something. I don't really know what I want to do because we're not done with this area over here with the sunshade, and I wanted to paint those, but like, do I want to? Because it's not cooling off anytime soon. So I'm like, do I really want to be out here painting them things? But Cody did finish up the playground, so that's done. It looks like it's so far away on the camera, but I swear it's not that far away. Okay, so over here, which is where this shade is, maybe y'all can give me some ideas. Y'all are pretty good about doing stuff like that. Oh my gosh. She's making me tired just watching her. We definitely wanted somewhere that was going to be safe, so if they fell off of something, which is why we did the playground grade mulch over there in the playground. But two, we wanted to block everything off so that when Cody's cutting grass, he's not having to like move stuff around, having to weed eat around all the little things, or not the little things, but the big things that he can't move or don't want to move. Every time he cut grass, he had to move a playhouse, and it was just so aggravating. So now he just goes around it, and that's the same concept that we want to do over here. That's why there's nothing under here, because he just has to move it every time he cuts grass, which right now, of course, in the summertime, especially with all the rain, is a lot. He cuts the grass like 2 or 3 times a week. So y'all might remember the grapevine being here. Cody brought in a load of sand or dirt or whatever, and he pulled all those up, filled in all the holes. The grass is almost filled in, all of it, because this was just all dirt, like I don't even know how long ago. So that's growing pretty good. Obviously the biggest difference is our fence. I don't have much of like comparison. I'll show y'all what I have of like what it looked like before. This is just half of our land. So we wanted it to be that when we let out the dogs or the kids come out, they were inside of the fence. There was no, once you come out the back of the house, you were encapsulated in the backyard. So we worked with the fencing people to figure out what would be the best option for that. I tell you, it's totally worth it. I was going to like cheapen out and try to figure out something, but I am so glad. Yes, it took longer than like our estimated time and all of that, but I freaking love it. I don't have to worry about, Mila can just come out here. Yes, we still watch her, obviously. I mean, she's still only, you know, she'll be 3 in a few months. But, yeah, she still is able to be out here and be a little bit more independent. And I really love that. But this is going to be like the grown-up hangout area. So y'all give me some ideas. What you think I should do. It is going to be cooling off at some point. So I would really love to be able to utilize this. Maybe like some kind of like table situation. She does not let go of that ball. Rosie, you can drop it, baby. Ladies somewhere. Give me some ideas on what you think as far as what we can put on the ground. And also like seating or whatever. What do you think? Now, as far as updates on the inside, since we're back in the house at this point, clearly, let me show you things around the house. And I don't think I told y'all about this because I was planning on doing like a whole video of kind of like designing and figuring out the dining and living room situation, because we were planning on making some changes and furniture changes and we ended up not doing that. So I just had footage just set to the side that I'm going to show you now of us changing out these light fixtures. So y'all may or may not know that I have hated these from the moment we moved in. So I wanted to change these out to can lights like we have all throughout the house, so that we don't have to be tied down to the table being in a certain position. But he's worried because of, and before we get into this though, Cody does have electrician training. Somebody will ask.
Electrical training?
Yeah, that's the training he has. So he's the perfect person to do this. Cody went up into the attic and like looked at stuff, and he wasn't thrilled with his options as far as like turning these into can lights because of how the rafters sit. I think at least with okay, and I think that was just, it was more so this one he was worried about than this one. So we were trying to do the least amount of work with the biggest payoff. So then I said, well, if we can, okay, I'll be okay if we can just do flush mount lights. I don't like the titty lights. And I'll put a picture here of a titty light if you don't know what it is. Boob light, I know some people call them that, but whatever, I don't like them. So I did not want to put those here, because still that would mean you'd still kind of have to put the table where it is. And we found these. Pretty much looks like a can light, except for this is the light. So Cody said when this goes out, you have to change the whole thing instead of just changing a bulb, we assume. So it should be easier. He ain't got to cut nothing. He ain't got to really.
We'll see.
Okay.
We ain't got there yet.
Okay. Well, we're hoping. So our thought process is that it's the most simplest with the most similar finishing result. Now, speaking of summer updates, I did host a Christmas in July party. I did something I've never done before, and that's throw a Christmas in July party. So not only was it super different for me, but it was very last minute. So your girl had to get creative, and I love a creative moment. So obviously the flamingos had to have Santa hats. That was just non-negotiable. And what's a party without a balloon garland? Of course, we had to have amazing food. My best friend Trevor made this super adorable fruit tray in the shape of a Christmas tree. We all loved it. My kids absolutely went goo-goo over this fruit. For our main dish, I made this little twisty Christmas tree pizza. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And of course you got to have some desserts, so I did these little Christmas tree sugar cookie towers. To finish it all up, I made frozen hot chocolates. Merry Christmas in July. This is still there from that. I'm going to take it down tomorrow. I was going to take it down tonight, but I know Mila's obsessed with balloons, so I figured I'd wait until, you know, she can help me take it down. Well, not help me take it down, but when I take it down, she can play with the balloons before I discard of them. As you can see, we did move the table over closer to the wall because I had an idea of something that I want to do, and I probably will still end up doing that and doing light fixtures on the wall like I wanted to. Still loving these lights. They give off so much light, and they allow us to play with the amount of room that's in here that I still cannot get over just by moving that over. So y'all know, if you were here last Christmas, I had a tree over there. There's so much room now for a tree because the table was centered, and I still put a tree over there. So this won't be here hopefully by Christmas, because I'm going to tell you about that as well. So yeah, that's really the only changes in here. I have a very sad change that I'm going to show you. But you might notice this little guy here, this little guy here, and those are there because of the big guy that lives here. I don't know if you can see it just as good as what it really is. And do you see this big one? Let me go on the other side. Maybe you can see it better over here. Yeah. Those of you that have been here know that we have not had that stovetop not even a year. And I would like to say that it was like a big accident. Well, it was an accident. It was an accident, but I would like to say that something dropped on it. But that's not what happened. Cody was trying to put that vent cover back in, and it only goes in one way. Yes, it looks the same on both sides, but it only goes in one way. So he went to put it in, and it wasn't going in, and he just took his hand and did like this to tap it in, and he broke it. So we cannot use it because you run the risk of it being electrocuted. So if you have a glass stove top and it has cracks or shatters in it, you cannot use it. Do not use it. You might not get electrocuted the first or second time, but do not use it. So we have ordered a replacement top, like the piece of glass, which was cheaper than buying it all together, but it was not cheap in the long run. But in the meantime, I've been making this work. You know, we have an air fryer that I've been meaning to replace. I still haven't replaced it. And we also have the new oven that we got the same time we got the stove. So I'm making it work. It's a little annoying, but I'm making it work. So there's the sad update. Okay. Now getting into all of the things that I want to talk about. Okay, so I think the last time y'all seen us was Charleston. And yes, I will clean all of this up here shortly, but I figured let me go ahead and sit down while I had still some energy to talk to y'all before I start working. We ended up getting sick. Did I say that on the last one? I don't remember what I said, but we did all end up getting sick. We ended up having to miss Lumbee Homecoming, so I did not film Lumbee Homecoming. I missed out on that. I did get some merch though. Not merch, but like some things, because I got some connections to exceedingly creative vendors that normally set up, and one of my favorite is Scuffletown Suppliers. Lumbee Outfitters also sent some stuff, and I was able to share that. I was super sad to miss B-Jack's booth or whatever, so those are like my top 3 favorites that I always like, you know, set up for Lumbee Homecoming. Of course, I missed all the food, but whatever. I was trying to be bitter. But we did enjoy our family time being stuck in the house, all sick and whatnot. So there was that. Elis can say daddy or dada. I'm sure if y'all have been here since Mila was little, Mila said mama first. Cody really wanted Elis to say daddy first, and I wanted him to say it first too, because I thought it was only fair, because Mila said mama first and she didn't say daddy for a long time. She just did not want to cooperate. Elis was already making the mama sounds and he was practically saying it, but Cody did not want to admit it. So he did start like saying dada. Like I thought I heard him say it, and then like the very next day I caught him saying it, and I'll show you here. But I caught him saying it, and of course Cody was at work and he missed it, and we couldn't get him to say it when he got home, but he said it all evening while he was at work, and he has said it ever since. So now he says mama, daddy. We're getting him to say bye-bye and trying to do the hand motions. We're also working on, you know, baby sign language, just like we did with Mila. He is crawling like a madman, and he prefers the army crawl because I think he just gets there fast. I don't know. He's pulling up on everything, including his crib. So there's an update for you. We had to move his mattress down, which was sad and is a job. I did it. Cody was like, I think he went to the woods to like help clear off a plot or something where their hunting land is. And I knew, I was like, I don't know if he'll be here for the next nap. And I had to run in there at the first nap because he was standing up, and I was like, oh my gosh. Oh gosh. He's top heavy. He's got a big head like me and his sister. Mila had a big head too. She's still kind of got a big head. So I'm like, he's gonna flip over. So I ran and got him. So I didn't know if Cody would be home in time to change the crib out. So I did it myself. Shoot, changing the crib sheet is a job. So moving it down is an extra job, because crib sheets are extra tight, you know, because you don't want to run the risk of, like, I guess, sheet getting loose and your child suffocating. So they're like extra snug on those mattresses. And if yours are not, you need to get a different kind. But mine have always been like that. So it's like, I'm winded every time I have to change those blessed sheets. And he slobbers like a madman. Like a madman. Now, granted, Mila wore the teething necklace when she was his age. I let him wear it for, he wore it for a while, and I felt like he was still slobbering. Mila didn't slobber that bad, so I thought it was the necklace. But now, like I said, he doesn't wear it anymore. I took it off one day to clean it, and I just never put it back on him. And he slobbers so much. So if the necklace helps, I don't know. I never put it back on him. I don't know. But he slobbers so much. There's always all these like thousands of like wet, dried looking, you know, spots on his sheet. So I change it often. Like, I know Mila grew fast, but I swear it's like he's growing double time, and I can't keep up. He's got 5 teeth, y'all. At this age, Mila had 2. She was getting ready to, the top one was coming out on this side. So it was her right. Left, right. Yeah, her right. And that top one didn't give her such a hard time. I remember she had a fever. She was so pitiful. She was really like cuddly and clingy. Her fever ended up turning into a rash, and yeah, all because of those 2 top teeth. His top 2 teeth have already come out. It was around the time I think that we got sick. So I was thinking he wasn't sick and it was his teeth, but I think it was a little of both. And then a 5th one down here on the bottom. So these 2 come out first. One, and then the other one come right behind it. Same thing as on top. And then this one down here. What's so crazy though, when we went for his 9-month appointment, she's seen these 2, like you can see they're sort of swollen. And we looked here and didn't see anything. And I think like 2 days after his doctor's appointment, that one was out. And these 2. So if that's the case, he's about to have, what is that? 4 and 3, 7. 7 teeth. Like, what the heck? He's eating like his life depends on it. He's the first one done. So you have to, and when he's done eating, he's ready to get up and, yep. So he'll like holler at you the whole time. So you have to you have to make sure you are sitting down and you are ready to eat when you serve him, or he's going to yell at you if you're not done. So that's that. It's really funny. I think I've told y'all that Mila was potty trained. She does wear a diaper to bed because we haven't done all of that. I will put down below in the description box my Amazon storefront for like my potty training essential things, as well as my potty training chart that we used for her that she loved. She loves stickers. I put a version of our potty training like reward chart in my Etsy shop, so she freaking loved that. And the more stickers she got to put on, the better. She was obsessed. So I ended up putting that on my Etsy shop, which is another thing where I have been totally dived all into my Etsy shop and working on that. I have almost 100 different listings on that shop, so that's 100 different designs I have created myself in a matter of however long. I don't even know how long. The shop launched on my birthday, but I had been working on it before that, and I don't even remember how much I started with. I think I started with like 40 things or something that I had been like cramming and making before that. Something else that I have been thoroughly loving and enjoying, and like I said, before I say this next part, I will put my Etsy shop down below. So it's not only potty training and reward charts. I have different event invitations. I have birthdays. I have christenings. I have baby shower bundles. I'm working on back to school stuff. Actually, tonight I'm going to work on first day of school printables. I know that I've noticed a lot of people are already back in school, but here in our state, school hasn't started yet. So I still have some time. I'm also right now running a back to school teacher giveaway on my Primped design Instagram. So when you're seeing this, you only have one more day to enter. So go do that. I'll have that link down below for y'all to go and check that out too. I'm giving away a full year of newsletters that I'm freaking obsessed with the design. It's so easy because it's going to make you, the teacher, look like they really got their stuff together when all they did was go in and just change out the different things, like the different important dates and the little notes and reminders and just little things like that. But I've already done all the designing and making it so festive for like each month. I loved making them. Every time I would make one, I would show Cody like, look at this one. This one's my favorite. But then I'd make another, I'm like, no, wait, this one's my favorite. So you're going to win. Whoever wins this giveaway will win the entire year of those. A Meet the Teacher printable template. And I have 4 or 3. 4 designs of those. You can pick from one of like you can pick from all 4 of those. You just get one of those. I feel like I just said too many words. And then I have 3 different like student, like meet the student kind of printable situations. I got 3 different ones of those, and you'll be able to pick from one of those. What I have really been into lately is reading. And when I was young, like school age young, I loved reading. I loved it. And then the older I got, I just didn't have time for it. I just found other things to fill my time with. I've always been a creative soul, so I'm always doing something. Like right before I started dating Cody, I read Heather Lindsay's Pinky Promise book, or wait, what is it? Pink Lips, Empty Hearts. It's up here. I'm looking up here because it's in the bookcase. I read that. I read 2 of Steve Harvey books, the Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, and then Straight Chaser something. It was another Steve Harvey book. I read all 3 of those and loved them. But like I said, that was it. That was the only 3 books I read. You know, besides like doing daily devotional Bible stuff. That was the only book that I really read. I wanted to just get back into reading, so I asked for some recommendations on Instagram. And though I know I'm not always here on YouTube and there's like big gaps of time that pass, I'm pretty much on Instagram daily, and I'm also on TikTok. So I know some of y'all have been finding me on TikTok because y'all let me know, and like you'll leave a comment under one of my little TikTok videos. So, and I almost put up one of those like every other day, sometimes every day, sometimes multiple times a day. I don't have a schedule. I'm just winging it over there. It's a fun space for me. So, but I did ask for recommendations over on Instagram, and y'all gave me some. So I bought 2 books to start with, and it was Verity by Colleen, however you say it, Hoover, and Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, I think. Verity was the first one I read, and I was shook, but it was a good thing it was the first one I read because it reignited my passion for reading. I read it pretty quickly. I did buy the, you know, like the actual books. I don't have either one because Mama and my Aunt Sarah are passing them around. I had to keep taking breaks because the mother heart in me, or my mama heart, whatever, I had to keep taking breaks because y'all, it was intense. It was so intense, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I kept telling Cody, like I would tell him what had happened. Every time I'd read a couple more chapters, I'm like, listen to what just happened. I was shook. I would give it a 5 out of 5. The second one was Where the Crawdads Sing, and Mama took and read that one. Aunt Sarah took and read Verity, but now she gave Verity to Mama. So Aunt Sarah got a copy of Where the Crawdads Sing from a co-worker, so she read it while Mama was reading mine. And like I said, this was the second book I read. It took me a little while to read this one because if you have read it, you know that it is a slow moving in the beginning book. They call this a slow burn. Once you get past it, and I feel like it's the first half of it that you got to get past. Maybe the first third, I don't even remember, but it's just so wordy and descriptive. I'm like, wow, she really is painting a picture here. But maybe you don't need to paint it so much, because here I am able to totally see in my head. I can picture everything of Verity, like every little detail. without all those words. So I'm like, you didn't really need to use all these words. Because when I first started reading it, I'm like, what did these people recommend me? But I stayed the course. I had already bought this book. I'm going to read it. Glad I did, because it ended up so good. I give it a 4 out of 5 though, just because of the lengthy, super over descriptiveness. Then I read The Perfect Marriage. I haven't read that many, so I can like go through everything and tell you what all I've read. I read The Perfect Marriage, and I read that on my Kindle, which is new. I got this during the Prime Day sale because I had already read those 2 books, and I'm like, will I want to read on a Kindle? Because I feel like I like to turn the pages and all of that. And when I seen the Prime Day deal for this one, which is like the basic one with the backlight on it, it was $44, and I'm like, shoot, that's a deal. So if I'm going to get one, this is the time. So I literally thought about it, because what, Prime Day is like 2 days, or Prime Days or whatever. I waited until the hour before the sale was over. I bought it. I bought a case, bought a pop socket. I bought a book light because I knew I wasn't going to give up on reading books, and I wanted a light to read in bed. So I bought all these things. The case still hadn't got here. I had to change that. The case got here, and it was the wrong size. I ordered the right size. They sent the wrong size. So it's the same case as this. I ended up buying a yellow one because then they told me it would be 2 months before the pink one came, but it's literally the same company. They somehow sent the right size this time, but I seen that the yellow one will be there in like 3 days, so I needed a case on it. I've already read a whole book on it without a case, and I've already started on, no, I've read 2 books. I've read 2 books on it without a case, and I'm working on my 3rd when I finally got the case. So I started the 3rd one when I got the case on it, and like I said, I added a pop socket because so many people recommended doing a pop socket with it because it just makes it easy to hold. And everybody has been asking how I like it and which one I have, so I will link the one that I have. To make it easier, I did make a section in my Amazon store for the Kindle. So I linked the Kindle, this case, the other cases that I bought that I'm waiting on, and both pop sockets that I have. I linked all that good stuff, as well as all the books that I've read so far. So I need to add this 5th one to that list, even though I'm like 20 some percent of the way, maybe 30 some now. So I read The Perfect Marriage. It was cray cray. 4 out of 5 because there were some plot holes, because I was like, wait, where did this go? Like, it was just like, did you forget that you mentioned this? The author, I'm like, but you said you cut the phone off of the house, but he had a cell phone. So what did that, like, there was just things that didn't make any sense, but the ending shook me. I didn't see it coming by a long shot at all. If you have Prime, if you pay for Prime, you can, there's Prime Reading, which I didn't even know was a thing. It's part of the Prime Reading, so you're able to read that for free. So Mama's reading that now. She should be finishing it tonight. It was crazy. My friend Danielle Diaries, that's how y'all know her, she just finished it, and she was like, why didn't you tell me about the ending of this book? And I'm like, well, I couldn't tell you because that ruins it. But it was crazy. So then the next book I read were, what was it? The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I loved it. I did, and it was different. I didn't. A few people recommended that one. For whatever reason, it stuck out to me, so I added it to my list. And that was, like I said, the very next book that I read, and I bought it. So I think when I got the Kindle, I had like a $5 coupon or something to use towards my next book purchase, or Kindle purchase or whatever. So it ended up being like $9 when I bought it, and I loved it. I loved it. I was able to picture everybody and everything like so clearly, and I didn't see it coming at all. The 2 different spins, like the 2 things that like I didn't, who she actually loved, and then the connection, I didn't see those 2 things coming at all. I really, really loved it. That was one of those books that I just kept reading, and I would find myself like 6 or 7 chapters in. And also what makes it so easy to read on this thing is that I can read, and I normally do, so at night when I'm putting Elis to bed, I didn't tonight, as y'all seen, I was on my phone. I can read around the kids and not have to worry about nothing. And when something happens, I just turn it off and I go. With the book, I would put the bookmark in and walk off. Well, Mila would go back over there. She loves books. I know my kids love books. She'd open it and go to flipping, and she'd move my bookmark every time. And I'm like, reading it with them was nearly impossible. So it took me way longer to finish a book. like Verity and Where the Crawdads Sing. It took me forever to read Where the Crawdads Sing because I only could read it like when we were in the car and Cody was driving or when they were asleep. But with this, I'm able to read it so much more. So I can finish books in like 2 or 3 days. And I'm really enjoying that, even though my goal is 2 books a month at this point. So I started in July, so that's 12 books for the year. So I am on Goodreads, and it helps me keep track of what I've read. I'm able to rate the stuff that I've read, leave reviews and stuff like that, keep tabs of what I want to read. But it also shows me within each chapter, like, how long is it going to take me to read this chapter? Which is another reason why I read so much quicker. Because I'm like, well, shoot, this next chapter ain't going to take me but 10 minutes. This next chapter ain't going to take me but 6 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. So I go ahead and read the next chapter. And before I know it, I've sat there and read like 7 chapters or whatever. That's it. I know people are going to ask me, especially once they see me were doing the playground, they were like, are y'all still moving? We are not moving unless something's perfect. This market is stupid. It is starting to like level out some. I've been noticing that. Our realtor is, you know, she's keeping an eye out. We did change realtors. We still are in touch with our old realtor. We were just trying to get, you know, like fresh eyes on it because it had been so long, and we just love our old realtor Paul so much. It was just his birthday, so I did just wish him a happy birthday like not too long ago. So we still like keep in touch with him, and he's always checking to see if we bought a house. But he wasn't local. And this, our new realtor, Tia, is. She's lived here all her life, so she's more familiar with the area. You know, I've just made it clear to her. I'm like, look, we are comfortable right now. We know we need and want more space, but we are not willing to pay out of our rump for something that we don't love. So we will sit here. We've been here this long. We will sit here until we find something. We're just not, at this point, we're not willing to compromise. We know that God has something spectacular waiting on us, so we're not pushing. We're not trying to get out of here, so we're going to make some changes. So moving forward, my next big thing, so we're planning to go to IKEA, have a plan, and I'll show you here of what I want to do, kind of, sorta. In the, right now, the playroom will no longer be, it's technically the guest room and the playroom because the bed turns into a, the sofa turns into a bed, but it will become my office / homeschool area, and my office will turn into the playroom. So there's some big changes happening with that. The first change will be making a desk in that room so that I can move things from the office into the new office. So from the old office to the new office, and we can begin ripping out those lower cabinets and desks that are built in to the office, taking those out. And I know you're probably thinking, why are you making that change if there's already built-ins? Because of the layout. That's why I'm not even able to use my office, because my office is connected to Mila's bedroom. So the only times I'm able to actually sit at my desk and work is when she's asleep, and that would require me going in her room to go to my office, and it's not realistic. So I have not used my office in forever, unless like mama's here and she's out with the kids like in here, and then I'm able to like sneak off to my office, but that's it. So I'm not able to use it, and we're going to start doing some homeschooling stuff, so it just makes sense to have a space to do all of that. So that's why we're moving into here, and they'll be able to utilize that room so much more, because of course if they're using the playroom, that means they're awake, and you know, it being next to Mila's room will just make so much more sense than the way things are laid out right now. So we know, we just feel like we're going to be here a little bit longer, so we're just making things work for us. And I feel like it won't just only work for us, but it will work for anybody that we end up selling the house to in the future, because it just doesn't make sense for a room to be within a room. You know, like, not that, like, I know people do rooms within like master bedrooms, like offices within, but not another bedroom, because it's most likely gonna be a kid's bedroom. Why does a kid need an office? It is just so frustrating that they laid it out like that. So making that change, I think, is going to make a huge difference. So I'm excited about that. I'm a little antsy about ripping cabinets out and stuff like that. but we'll get it done. And our goal is, that's our next big thing, because we got the playground done. So our next big thing, like I said, is to do that, and then we're going to be planning and figuring out what we want to do with that section that I showed y'all outside. I have been wanting to talk to y'all and trying to figure out how to come back and fill y'all in and all the things and stuff for the future. We do have a Disney trip coming up for Christmas, and I'm so excited about all that. So of course I'll be filming that. Of course, it's Elis's first time at Disney World, Mila's second. So I will be filming the heck out of that as much as I can. I know I'll be, you know, stretched thin. Mama is going with us, and I'm really excited about that because she's been once, and it was when I was in high school. I can't remember if James was there yet. I don't think he was. I think he was still in like middle school. There's like a grade between us. I think he was in 8th grade and I was in 10th grade. But we only went to Animal Kingdom, and the trip kind of stunk because of just some family drama or whatever. So it wasn't the best. In the moment it was so good, like while we were at the park, but there was just some things around it that kind of like, you know, killed the mood, killed the vibe, whatever. So now she gets to go. Not only does she get to go, but we're doing it big. And because when we go to Disney, we don't play, okay? We do all the parks, we do all the things, we eat all the food, we buy all the souvenirs, we do all the things. Because when we go, we want to do it. We're not just doing it a little. We do it big, and I love that we're able to take her along with us. And not only that, but she gets to see the kids do Disney. And I don't care what anybody says, Disney is so amazing, period. Like, I've gone, you know, before kids, and I loved it. And Cody loved it. He talks so much smack beforehand, and when he gets there, he freaking loves it. And all he does when we get back from a trip is ask when we're going to plan the next one. We love it. But taking kids, I'm going to cry like sitting here thinking about it, because when we took Mila, yes, I was hormonally pregnant, but I'm not right now, and I could still cry. Like, I cried at everything because she was just so excited, and I just felt like tremendously blessed to be able to do this with her. You know, like, growing up, I always like envisioned this family that I wanted for myself. And we have that, and I just feel like completely blessed. And I'm so thankful that I get to do life with my family. And I'm so excited to be able to see Mila go now, older, and she gets to share it with her little brother. Like, it is just so, it is so special, because I was able to go when I nannied many years ago. They took me along with them, and they let my brother come, and I didn't even have to nanny. I didn't even have to nanny on the trip. Like, they were together, and she pretty much just, like, the mama just let me come along, and we got to do our own thing. We had our own room, and me and James got to do every park together. Like, we were by ourselves, and we got to do all the parks, just me and him, and it was so special. I'm so excited for Mila and Elis to get to do this. I know they're little, but at this age, it's not for them, it's for us. And clearly I thoroughly enjoy taking them. I don't care how much it costs. I get so much joy out of it, and I am so looking forward to it. I have a countdown on my phone. I'm so excited about it. Clearly. I can't wait. I mean, I can wait, because I don't want to rush my baby's lives away, because I'll have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old when we go. And I cannot believe that. And I'm like just soaking in every day, which is, honestly, it is the biggest reason why I haven't been present on social media. I didn't want to do this. I said earlier, they're growing so fast. And I know it's not just my babies, but I don't want to miss anything. I don't want them to get older and be like, Mama was always on her phone, or Mama was always having the camera in her face, and she was always on her computer trying to edit up videos. And yes, I know that it's turned into my career, and I'm super thankful for this platform. But I don't want them to feel like I wasn't present. And not only them feel like it, I don't want to feel like it myself. I don't want to feel like I'm missing out on stuff. They're growing so fast. I want to be a part of every little thing that I possibly can. I don't want to take it for granted. So that has been the biggest the biggest reason why I haven't been here. And I'm just so thankful that, you know, we're established in our life to the point that I don't have to do anything. It's just a choice that I've made, like career-wise, for me to do it. And it's just made life extra cushioned for us that you know, that this has been my career for so long now. But we are just so blessed, and y'all know, or I mean, if you don't know, that I prayed so long for these babies, and I wanted this life for so long. I don't want to miss any part of it. And it's not that I don't want y'all to, I know y'all have been here and y'all have prayed with me and y'all miss us here on YouTube, but man, I just don't want to miss their little lives. They're literally, time is just like disappearing. And me being glued to my phone and my camera and my computer all the time, it's just not making time slow down anymore. So, yeah, I still miss y'all, and I love creating, and I love being able to share our life, because I feel like somebody needs something that I always have. Like the Lord always gives me something to say or to share that somebody needs. So I still want to be able to do that, and I try my best to put it out somewhere. If I feel like, you know, he's tugging at me and he wants me to share something, I try to go out of my way to make sure that I do that. Right now in this moment, I feel like he was telling me to say this, so I did, even though I knew I was going to go to crying, and look at me. I know fall's coming up. You know, that's the time I shine. So, that's the time I'm the best version of myself. That's why the Lord give me 2 fall babies. So all of that, birthday party planning, that's coming up. Oh my gosh. All the Disney planning, decorating, all of the fun things are coming up. And I'm going to do my best to share what I can when I can. I hope y'all enjoyed this summer recap, and I hope I didn't talk too much and cry too much. But I love y'all. Don't forget that. I do. And more importantly, God loves you, and he is there for you. Even when, do not put your hope in us influencers. Because we'll go months and not say nothing. And then don't even go to crime. But put it in Jesus. He will never leave you. He will always be there. He's always there. And he is just waiting to bless you tremendously and go bigger and more extravagant than your prayers or dreams could have ever, you know, prayed up. I know I've talked about this before, but the image of where the little girl holding on this itty bitty little teddy bear, and he's asking her to give it over, and she's like, but I love it, God, I just love it. And behind him, he's holding this huge, like 10 times the size of the bear that she's got, and he's like, just trust me. Because if you just trust in him and give it over to him, what you're dealing with, he's going to bless you abundantly. Like, it's just, I'm going to go to crying again. Let me get off of him. And I'll see you on the next one, whenever that is. Have a beautiful and blessed day.